Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole, and today we're gonna talk about a product that has an absolute chokehold on my YouTube, Instagram, and I don't even have a TikTok, but somehow the girlies know how to share TikTok to Instagram, and then it brings me to TikTok, and then I end up hanging around there for a while. But anyway, the way this has a chokehold on all of my social platforms is wild. This is the Dibs Beauty Desert Island stick and the new Dibs Beauty, I think it's new or newer, Glow Tour Duo. These look like they blend better than any bronzer, blush, contour stick I've ever seen, and that is what I'm interested in. I did want to mention these were co-founded by Courtney Shields, who is a content creator. I don't follow her, so I'm not sure if she's like an Instagrammer, a TikToker, or YouTube, but typically when someone co-founds something and they have, a community of friends, you tend to see it a little bit more, which is probably why I see it, and I think that is amazing. However, what I'm interested in is if it actually blends as good as it appears to blend. Now, I did not purchase their brush. Your girl has too many brushes, okay? And I have a specific brush that I like to use just because of the size of my cheeks and my forehead. The brush that they sell looked a little big to me for how I like to apply these products, and the Desert Island stick duo, whatever, was $36 and the Glow Tour was $38, and I just didn't want to spend another $68 on a brush when I have a million brushes. So, you do you. If you don't have one, I'm sure that's great. I didn't pick it up, so I can't comment on it. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Complexion duo. I have two of them, so I'm going to be using one for each. So this is going to be old school YouTube style, and I do want to give you swatches. I had a hard time picking out colors because it's always hard to color match yourself online. So I picked up number 2, and the blush color in number 2 is You Do You, and the bronzer color is Mood Boost. So that's for the Desert Island duo. And then for the Glow Tour duo, which is a shimmering blush contour duo, I picked up Starlit. The blush doesn't have its own name for this, and the contour doesn't have its own name, so we're just gonna refer to it as the Starlit stick. But I will say, when I swatched these, they went on like butter. Also, the Glow Tour has a cap on, ooh, almost dropped it, the top and the bottom. Don't throw this away. This will help your product from drying out. Not sure why they don't have it on the Desert Island duo. Maybe there's like an ingredient in this that you need to make sure you keep these for, so don't throw them out. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I film in natural light, so there's no artificial lighting here that's gonna like skew how the product looks. I'm just sitting right in front of one window. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the bronzer from the Desert Island duo, and I'm gonna apply that all over, and then we'll use the contour stick to kind of contour certain areas. And I think I'll use mostly the blush. At least we'll start with the blush from this, and then we'll top it off with the blush from the Glow Tour. I think that sounds like a good plan. So I'm gonna go ahead and go directly on the face. Normally, I would go in and kind of apply from the brush. I'm not sure if that's like the makeup artist, technique kind of built into me or what, but I was used to doing that with a palette when I did makeup professionally, but I'm gonna do it like the Instagram girlies do. So I'm gonna just go in like this, and see, because this is kind of cold now, because I haven't touched it, I can feel it stick a little bit more. But once I start kind of, applying, it warms up to my face. And I'm gonna go ahead and do both sides here. So we'll see if this like sets down before I get to this side. That's always a good test too. And I'm not like, a jaw contour person or bronzer, so I'm not gonna do that. So go ahead and start blending. And the way, I've seen it blend online, it's amazing. It's like 3 swipes and people are good to go. So I didn't know if that was actually the case, but this is blending really easy. And I really like the undertone of this. It's warm. My hair is gonna start to kind of come out because I always blend right into my hairline. So just ignore that. But the undertone is warm, but this color at least almost has like a really flattering, almost reddish, but it's still warm. I don't know if that makes sense, but I really like the color. I think that's really flattering for my undertone. And do you see how easy this is blending? Like, I mean, I'm barely touching my face and it's just effortlessly blending in without losing coverage. That is usually a problem that I run into, is like you lose coverage as you start to blend. It's not. The coverage is staying there, but I might say that this blends better than any contour stick I've ever, or bronzer stick rather, that I've ever used. And let me tell you, I have used pretty much all of them. If you guys want to see a video of kind of comparing all of the popular bronzer sticks and blush sticks and, you know, those little like pillow kind of like, you know, Charlotte Tilbury kind of started it with those like cushion applicators, let me know. I'd be happy to do that because I struggle with them. But I mean, I'm done blending and that took no time at all. I'm like almost at a loss for words because I really do like that a lot. Like, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. I also wanted to mention, when I was trying to color match myself, you can take a picture of yourself and send that to them and then they'll color match you. So that's another benefit for a online business to kind of help you with your color matching. But this worked really well for me. I'm so impressed. I'm obsessed. All right, so let's go in with the blush. This makes me a little nervous because I have a lot of redness, pink in my skin as is. So I like to be really particular with where I apply. But I mean, given how nice that blended, I'm gonna just go ahead and go in. That color is beautiful. That's interesting. It's almost like blurring a little bit, like where I applied it. I don't know if that's a thing, but it almost looks like it was. Yeah, do you see that? It almost looks like there's like a blurring effect to the skin. I love the color. Again, I mean, I'm done. And that was like 3 seconds. And that is the perfect application. Do you see what I'm talking about? How when I blend it, it's not taking coverage away. It's just really blending effortlessly. I am so unbelievably impressed with this. It's so nice. I'm already thinking like, okay, now I need to buy every color they have because I'm gonna tell you right now, this is better than any blush and bronzer stick I've ever tried. Again, I am almost out of words for how impressed I am with that. It is gorgeous. Go buy it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Now let's go in with the Glow Tour. This makes me a little bit nervous because this contour color looks a lot darker than what I would normally go in with, but we're gonna start small and we know they blend really well. So start like that. I'm gonna go in with my other brush, the clean, and I'm just gonna kind of blend up. They just blend so well. I mean, in the stick, that color looks scary, but I mean, it's blended out. It's literally blended out in 0.2 seconds. And it just gives a nice shadow. Oh, it's so nice. Try this side. I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. And there's no shimmer in this. Like, it's really hydrating looking, but there's no shimmer. Whereas the blush definitely has a shimmer. This almost reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury liquid or cream, whatever they call them, blushes. The ones that have that like cushion. But the contour doesn't, which is good because you don't want to have shimmer in your contour area. But that's gorgeous. Again, a 10 out of 10. I love that. I don't contour like some people contour kind of these. I guess I could do it. I don't typically do this, but some people will like contour, you know, that area and their jawline, but I don't typically do that. But just to kind of demonstrate like how quickly and beautifully that blends out, nothing looks dry. Nothing looks dry at all, which is really important, again, with products like this. So 10 out of 10 on the contour. So let's go into the blush. I'm gonna use this a little bit more as a topper from the Glow Tour duo. I tend to go for more matte shades. You can kind of see here just from having it open, it's almost like sweating a little bit, which is probably why, you know, you should keep your cap on. I had that off while it was sitting here for a second, but I'm not usually like a huge shimmery blush person. And if you have a lot of texture, be careful with shimmer product. It tends to highlight texture, but I'm just gonna like go right in that area, in that area, and just even a shimmery blush, which I typically don't go for. Do you see the like sheen kind of here? Like you don't even need a highlight with this. It gives you such a hydrated, dewy look. I would, you know, like some people like to put blush on their nose. I would probably avoid that with the Glow Tour. With the Desert Island Duo, that would look pretty, but I personally would avoid that on the nose area. I'm definitely more into the Desert Island Duo, the more matte blush than the shimmer, but this blends really well. If you do like shimmer, you will absolutely love that. That blended beautifully. I think that's a really nice topper and it complements the Desert Island Duo blush really well. I think I'm just more of a matte blush person, but this makes me look really, really healthy and hydrated. I always take my beauty blender that I used when I apply my makeup and I just kind of hit the edges and on top to make sure everything looks perfectly blended. I really don't think it's necessary for this product, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm speechless. You guys go get these. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you have been struggling with finding, I can't believe I haven't bought these earlier with, again, the chokehold and how many times I've seen this. This is so worth it. These are absolutely gorgeous. If you had to pick one, I'd go with the Desert Island Duo, but that's just my preference. And again, what works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for me. They both blend beautifully. If you're more of a, you know, shimmery blush person and you contour a lot, go with this. If you like just the standard, I think this is just a little more universal. This would be a little more niche. This is universal. I know you will love them both. They blend beautifully. This one was $38. This one was $36. I'm gonna go buy more. So I hope this video was helpful to some of you. As always, if you have any questions, let me know down below. Otherwise, if you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the absolute world to me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.